he had found pictures of me and MC Hammer.
Oh, keep going. This is good.
What? Yeah, Hammer, you got me in trouble. So
Too legit.
Hey! I'm actually a sex abuse survivor. God is always looking to turn something that was meant for bad for good. I moved out when I was 14.
You used to rap?
I'm actually in the issue of the Vibe magazine with Puffy and Biggie on the cover. In the secular world, you know the shark. In the gospel world, you don't necessarily know until you know. Fred Hammond. Oh yeah. I mean, I lived with him for 1 year. The rate of porn is higher than any other time.
With the gospel people.
Yep.
There.
Yes. One of my girls is going to clear $1 million on TikTok this year. I'm getting ready. I'm getting
All right,
ready.
guys. Here we go. This is LQ with LQ Financial, the group chat. And this is our series number 5. And who we have with us today is Angelia Robertson.
Hey, in the building.
Hey.
The one and only.
Yeah. And how are you today?
I am fantastic. It's a little cold and rainy outside, but I can deal with that.
Right, but you're still cute though.
Thank you. I
say
try.
that
I try.
So, Miss Angelia Robinson.
Yes, you said my name right.
I did. You know what?
You've been practicing.
I used to think your name was Angela.
Uh-huh.
Is your name Angela?
No, it's Angeli.
Is Angela?
But it looks like Angelia because it's spelled Angelia.
Okay.
Yeah, love my mama, but she was on drugs, like the heavy drugs they were giving her.
Oh,
for me, yeah, not those kind of drugs.
Yeah.
And she had a cold. I just don't think she probably misspelled it and she just rolled with it.
It's pretty good.
It's a great conversation
Pretty
piece.
cool.
I don't mind.
Angela.
So tell the people what you do.
That's how she said it. What don't I do should probably be the question.
All right.
I do a little bit of everything. Well, first, the thing that really pays the bills right now is that I'm a certified sexual health promoter. So I empower, educate, and entertain women, and also empower men. But women have always been my focus. So that's one of the things that I do. I have those fun in-home parties for women. So ladies, if you want to have a fun ladies' night, holla at your girl, right? Parties are free. It doesn't cost you anything, but I'm there to showcase products and help women to, basically own their pleasure, right? So that's a deep conversation and maybe we'll get into that. But that's one of the things I do. I'm a retired recording artist, so that's always going to be a part of me. Mm-hmm. Singer-songwriter, and now executive producer of a reality show that is soon to come out in 2024. So yeah, and I can't forget author. See, I got many hats. That's why I said, what don't I do, right? I'm a mom, I'm a wife, like all of those things count, right? Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So where you from?
I'm originally from Maryland, born and raised, but I've been in Texas now 11 years, so I've been told I'm officially a Texan. Yeah,
Maryland.
But I'm always claiming DMV, the DMV. That's right.
Mumbo
Those who don't know,
good stuff.
DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Yeah. I saw a commercial. They've actually bottled mumbo sauce now.
Really?
I saw that. I don't know where you can get it from, but I'm like, wow.
It ain't good as the real thing.
It probably isn't. Yeah, it's to jump off.
So outside of, you being a woman, like why was it so important for women's sexual health being important to you, for that to be an advocate for you?
Well, the women's sexual health piece was actually accidental. Mm-hmm. The women's empowerment piece has always been a part of me. Like, I really believe that is my calling. It is my anointing. In the Word of God, right, Romans 8:28, it says, now I'm having a senior moment. But all things work together for the good of those that love God, to them that are the called according to his purpose, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm actually a sex abuse survivor. First incident happened at the age of 4, right? Oh, wow. So people look at things as being traumatic. And yes, it was a traumatic experience, but, God is always looking to turn something that was meant for bad into something that was, for good. And so I think that that's probably a part of it when it comes to the sexual health piece, although I accidentally got into it. So empowering women first was through my music and things like that, and just kind of, women having control of their lives. And I had known nothing about the industry that I'm in right now. And just after my music career and going through a divorce, I kind of just stumbled upon it. And I'm going to tell you, it's been one of the most empowering things I feel like I've done, because sex has always been a dirty word for people, and especially in the U.S. Now, you go outside of the U.S., it's a normal thing. which is also why they have lower crime rates as it pertains to sex abuse and, child molestation, things like that, because they don't make it a taboo thing. They're teaching their kids at 5 about anatomy and sexual health, which is something that we don't do in the States. Right. So yeah, it was just kind of accidental, but I just feel like it's a season for everything, and this is my season for that.
Yeah. So with you having that experience when you were 4 years old, how was your childhood around that? How did?
Yeah, I feel like, when things happen, and I think that there's a level of grace and protection that God puts over you. So the only way that I can honestly say that it affected me is by me being someone that always wanted to be in control. Especially when it came to relationships and in the bedroom. Because if someone was trying to be in control of me, I think that was that was sent off red flags, right? Those were things that pushed my button. So I just think just in general, that also being a young woman coming up, teenager, being promiscuous, those are things that also happen to most women and men. And that was something that was a part of my life as well. But I've always been a happy, fun-loving, gregarious person where some people become more introvert, some people become depressed and suicidal. That's not my story. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for that, that's the only thing that I could really just say.
So you got a fun kid, fun childhood?
Absolutely. I'm the life of the party. Hey. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, the most likely to succeed or something like that? Class clown?
Yeah. Well, no, not class clown.
Class clown?
Not class clown, but definitely most likely to succeed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just, everybody just, drawn to me. And that's what I say, again, I believe I was anointed, because it's funny when I had gone through a period in my life and where I was just kind of out there doing all kinds of things. I mean, my story is just crazy. Just for me to be here is definitely a miracle and grace of God. But it was just a pastor had prophesied one day over me and talked about how God showed him a vision of me being like a well. And that like a well, of course, it produces water and everybody needs water to live. And he was saying with all the things that I was out there doing, that it was like God had put a lid over that well so people could no longer draw from it. And then at the time that I was in that battle between me getting my life right, getting right on course and things like that, he was saying that was like the battle of the lid coming off so that people could then again draw from me. So people are just naturally drawn to me, and I don't attribute that to me. I attribute it to the anointing.
Yeah. Did you have plans for your life when you were in high school? What did you think you were
yes,
going to be when you grew up?
I was a famous singer,
Oh, really? I always want to be a singer?
Yeah.
You always want to be?
Oh, yeah.
You sing? When did you start singing?
I think 5.
Oh, wow.
And so
5.
you were in the mirror going,
yep.
Yeah.
Mirror, all of that. Hey, Dinah Ross, Angela Bofield, Whitney Houston, all the time. We had that stereo, the wooden little setup where you lifted the thing up and you had the record player there. Yeah. It's funny. I used to have the little miniature baseball bat. Yeah. I would rig up there with a little rope and have it up there, like I'm playing the keyboard and singing. Oh yeah, that was my jam. Music. That was my jam.
Yeah. Big singer.
Sound like you had a real fun childhood.
Oh yeah. And then my sisters and I, we had a little singing group and
really?
all those. Oh yeah.
What y'all were called?
Gosh, I don't remember.
Remember the group? Now you don't even remember the group with your sister?
I don't.
Oh, that's cool.
But I do remember a song that we used to sing, and I wonder if you remember who the group was, because the name of the group escapes me, but you might know. So it was Get as much loving as you can. Get as much loving as you can. Get as much loving as you need. You don't know that group? See. How old is Sean?
If I hear it, I'm 43.
Oh yeah, well I guess I'll be 51 next month, so I guess if I don't remember, you're not gonna remember.
Yeah. Nah, but I listen a little bit of everything, so I'm surprised.
That's why I was expecting you to know.
I'm surprised I know it.
I'm gonna have to look it up. We have to Google it.
So it's a ladies group?
Yes, a ladies group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all was singing in the church and all that?
No, we didn't.
Really?
No, I wasn't raised in the
church. They got
church.
black churches up there?
Of course they do.
Oh yeah, DMV is considered the South.
I was not raised in. No, DMV is not considered the South. No,
it's considered the South.
No,
Mason
it's
Dixon
not.
line.
Nope.
It's considered the South.
Google it.
I'm gonna put it on. It's considered the South.
No, I don't
of
think
that
so.
is
That's the
South.
North. That's the North.
Yeah, on paper. No, it's literally considered the South.
You're gonna have to show me. Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah. It's considered the South.
Prove it.
Y'all ain't no slaves up there?
No.
Y'all ain't got no Baptist church up there?
We do, but I'm telling you, I didn't
if
grow.
you got Baptist church, it's the South.
We had more holiness churches.
Oh, they don't count. What's it like?
See, look, you stuck.
What is that? I don't even know what holiness is.
You really have never heard of a holiness church?
Like prosperity gospel or something. That's
you know what? Do you know holiness?
I do, but it's
I
also
heard
another
the
term
word
for
holy.
like Pentecostal. They're kind of close in that range.
Probably so, because holiness, it was the shouting, getting the Holy Ghost, and jumping all over the place, falling out on the ground.
Pentecostal.
See,
But
you just
no,
changed the word because
it
y'all
was called
booed
holy.
holiness. Holiness. AKA Pentecost. They wore skirts and stuff to church.
We wore the little things on your head, the little
Sanctified
coat. Look.
Sanctified church. They turned this into the big old thing like they all bougie.
Oh, look, whatever.
Sanctified church up there. They call it holiness.
Well, I know I wasn't raised in the church, but there was probably like a year or two that we went consistently.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We was in church like every day, and we would go in the basement and get the chicken dinners and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we didn't sing in church. That wasn't our thing. We did like the clubs, the skating rinks, the little events and stuff like that around in the area.
Okay.
Wow. So were you raised with both of your parents?
I was raised by my stepdad, who had been with me since the age of 2.
Okay.
So, yeah, but my biological dad is still very much a part of my life. But yeah, so he and my mom divorced, when I was 2. So yeah, but I was raised in a 2-parent home. So yeah.
How was your relationship with your parents?
Oh, my mom and I did not have a great relationship. We have a great one now, and I'm very thankful for that. Yeah. But we did not have a great relationship coming up. And I think it was probably, again, me rebelling, not having my biological father, as a part of my life when I learned, that my stepdad wasn't my real father, right? So it was a whole big thing.
Did you learn that later in life? Or?
I did. I learned it probably close to, well, it's funny, because this is debatable. So my older sister says, she's like, Angie, what are you talking about? How did you not know that your father was your father? And we were going over there at this certain age or what have you. But I think, when there's trauma and different things that happen in your life, you see things differently, or you remember things differently. Some things you block out, all of that. So, when I see pictures, and I know that I was very connected to members of my dad's family, like my grandfather, my grandmother, things like that. But during that time, my biological father wasn't a huge part of my life. Mm-hmm. So there are probably things that did happen or that I was around that I just don't remember. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I learned that my older sister that she had a different father than mine. And I grew up thinking that we had the same dad. And then we found out that she had a half sister and all those kind of things.
Wow. How did they come out?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's crazy. Funny story. So we had this girl come over to the house, and she was,
one of them stories?
Yeah.
Like a friend.
Yeah, she was presented as a cousin. She was a cousin. And so, we were all hanging out and having a good time. And one day she was just like, well, that's why I'm not your cousin. I'm Kim's sister. And I was like, no, you're not. Oh yeah, it was one of those type of things.
Oh, wow.
And so I went and I was like, why is she saying that you're her sister? And all of that stuff is in my book too. And I was like, why are they saying that, you're Kim's sister? And then they had to sit me down. They had to sit me down
one
and
of those
have the talk. One of those conversations, And so that was traumatic too, because my older sister, we're still very close. But I was jealous, I was just like, I don't want you to have another sister besides me and, the sisters I grew up with, my older sister and then my younger sister, Tarita. So yeah, it was one of them situations.
So you just have 2 sisters, no brothers?
Well, no, I do. So my mom had 3 girls, right? My dad had 6 children altogether. Papa was a rolling stone. Hey, yes. So I have 2 brothers by my dad, and then there are 3 other sisters by my dad. So
okay.
Cool. Yeah. Dad was player.
He's
still a player.
He got that South in him.
There you go. Now his family is from the South. They're from Edgefield, South Carolina.
See there?
That's the South.
Them Geechee Gullas. He want them Geechees? You want them Geechee? Yeah,
I don't know what that is. What's
you don't know about the Geechee Gullas?
No, what is that? But I'm going to tell you, my dad is brown skin, red hair, and freckles.
Geechee Gullas are Creole people in South Carolina.
Oh, no, he's not Creole.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Yeah. Why are you trying to make everybody be where you from?
No, I'm just saying. You're supposed to know the rules now. So we got us a Geechee. We got us a Geechee.
No. I don't know. I didn't know anything about Creole stuff till I came to Texas.
But Creole is in more island.
No,
island.
That's not my dad.
Caribbean. Oh, okay.
Nope. Straight up country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, Dad? And you and your stepdad had a good relationship?
Yes and no. He was a disciplinarian, and I was, like I said, rebellious.
Was he military?
No, he wasn't military. He was Secret Service. I
Same
got
difference.
whoopings all the time. Do you hear
wow.
me?
He worked for like the
president. Oh yeah,
Really?
we was all up in the White House with Amy and Jimmy Carter.
Really?
We traveled all over the world. Yes.
I just looked, Miss Rosalind Carter. Rest in peace to Rosalind Carter. She just passed like a couple hours ago.
Really?
Yeah, like a
Oh,
couple hours
shoot.
ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Yeah, but
Wow, so you were around all that as a kid?
Oh yeah.
That is
Yep.
great.
Had the Secret Service dog. We had the K9, the dog. Secret Service division. So yeah. Yep. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, he was a disciplinarian. I got in trouble all the time. I was always sneaking and doing stuff, and he would whoop my behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he helps to keep you a straight line.
Yeah.
He made you help yourself be more responsible.
Exactly. It's probably responsible for me being the woman I am today.
Yeah. So you thinking for that, you think that had a big effect on you for how you are today?
Probably so. You know what I'm saying? It's what, spare the rod, spare the child? Probably so. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shout out to stepdad. Okay.
Yeah. Who passed away about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's been
God
2 years
rest his
now.
soul.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. But yeah, he was still my dude. I still called him dad, whatever. There was no bad blood or anything like that. But yeah. But my biological father is still living.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
Hey guys, it's your girl LQ. Guess what? We are running a huge deal, and it's for the insurance boot camp. And we're doing a deal for $500. Yeah, you heard me right. $500 to come through the insurance boot camp and get your insurance license. This might have been something you always wanted to do, and you didn't have an opportunity, or you had a hard time passing your test. Come see your girl. But don't take my word for it. Check out some of our people who already came through the boot camp.
I came down to get my insurance license. It has been a wonderful experience.
Y'all need to come down here and get trained at LQ Financial. I'm glad I got my life insurance license.
And I really appreciate you getting me through this course. Y'all made it very simple.
I took the test, but unfortunately I failed it. I went through the insurance boot camp, and LQ was able to help me study, and I passed. I encourage you all to do it. Jump.
Again, right now, go to lqfinancialacademy.com.
So coming out of high school, you getting ready to go into the real world.
Getting ready to
Yeah,
go?
getting ready.
I was already.
Oh, you were already.
Already.
Oh, you
I
jumped into the
I
real
moved
world.
out at 14 years old.
You moved out at 14?
I moved out at 14.
So what made you move out at 14 years
I was
old?
fast. I was just fast.
Super fast.
I wanted to do my own thing. I was chasing boys. Like I said, I believe that, just being a sex abuse survivor kind of makes you grow up fast, and it influences you. Yeah, I kind of wanted to do my own thing, and I was dating older men and, being spoiled and, shower with gifts and all that kind of stuff. So I was just kind of out there. So I moved out when I was 14. I kind of moved around, right? So I didn't have my own place, but I was moving with my best friend, moving with my grandfather, moving with friends. I was kind of doing that during that time. So by the time I graduated, I was doing music at that time. So I had a short stay in New York where I was doing a lot of work and things like that out there. So I was trying to make this career pop off during that time.
So you at that time you were dead set at being a musician and being a singer?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And you went to New York at that young of age?
No. I went to New York right after graduation. So 17, 18.
Okay. Okay.
So you did complete school.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I was a good student.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you get a break in the music around then? Were you doing clubs? What kind of?
No, recording artist. So, I did some clubs, but I did more shows and venues and concerts and things like that. So I did R&B and rap earlier on, and then I ended up later
You used
on
to
doing
rap?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Listen, we have a battle. Don't play. It's still in me now. It's still in me.
Hey, now I knew you sing. I never knew you rap.
Yes, my name back then was Ebony Red. And
Ebony Red.
Ebony Red, yep. I'm actually in the issue of the Vibe magazine with Puffy and Biggie on the cover.
Really?
Yep, I'm in that issue. That was the anniversary issue.
Everything he got going on, I don't know if
I know.
I know. Later, but yeah,
I know.
Wow. So you were in the Vibe magazine?
Yep, sure was. Yep,
You signed to somebody?
I was so I had a distribution deal. So I had a couple of different distribution deals. My manager back then, which is also still working with me now, his name is Hakeem Taylor. And so we had a lot of, great stuff that was going on and things like that. Back then was during the Mary J. Blige era, right? Where she was one of the first to be singing over beats directly.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that was kind of the direction that I went as well. And so, yeah, I think I had a really good run. I'm going to be honest. And I've been saying this, especially with all the things that's coming out about that gentleman we just talked about.
Yeah.
I really feel like the only reason why I didn't become super successful in the music industry was the grace of God.
Oh, wow. So you think
I
it was a
do.
blessing that you didn't?
I do. It's
Wow.
so...
Did you see a lot of crazy stuff?
Yes.
So you feel like he protected you from getting to that
100%. 100%. I believe I'm called out. I believe I'm chosen. And I just believe that I probably would have been lost out there, you know what I'm saying, in that industry, being used up, abused, you know what I'm saying, all of that, maybe on drugs. I really, really feel that way. So yeah, I really, I've been saying that over the last couple of years, that I really feel like God just kind of protected me. And even going into the gospel industry, it's a lot of drama over there too, you know?
Yeah.
And so
I heard the
think-
gospel people worse.
Oh, yes.
They cut up.
Yes. Because see, at least in the secular world, you know the shark.
Yeah, you know what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the gospel world, you don't necessarily know until you know. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I had one year that I was, we were in Nashville. We were staying in one of the hotels out there for the Stellar Awards. And one of the concierges had told me that the weekend that we're there, the rate of porn that is watched in the bedrooms is higher than any other time of year.
When the gospel people
Yep.
there.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Because the thing is, they're suppressing natural things, you know what I'm saying, that should be happening. And they're doing all these things in the dark. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where the enemy is able to come in and, just kind of taint things.
Yeah.
When it's just like, God is like, sex was created by God.
Yeah.
And the marriage bed being undefiled, but we're always taught, all these things different. And I know that people believe differently, but I think that when you shame someone, when you do things in the dark, to the pure, all things are pure, then it gives room for people to get involved in stuff they probably should not be involved in.
Right.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's a mess out there.
Wow, gospel. So the gospel people are worse than the R&B and the rap.
Let me tell you. I got some. Look, I done changed some names in my book, but I got some stories.
I know that you've released CDs, you've written songs for people.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you do music? Like, was it for a few years, a long time? Or?
Well, you probably have to put them together because it was breaks, right?
Okay.
So we had me starting at 5 and with my sisters doing stuff or what have you. And then I had a little solo stint, right out of high school, actually during high school and right out. And then I stopped, right? Mm-hmm. So it's so funny because Hakeem, who I mentioned earlier, always teases and say, man, you just kind of just left me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, we were about to blow up and we were about to do some things. And I was just so trying to find myself and just, looking for love in all the wrong places and making wrong decisions. So I came out of the music industry because I was doing that. And then I'd go back to my first love again, which was music. So that's what made me go back into the gospel realm.
Okay.
And, I had some church hurts because as I got older, I did sing in the church and I was the, the lead or whatever in the church choir. And that caused a lot of issues. There was a lot of jealousy surrounding that from the pastor's wife. Oh, yeah, it was horrible.
Pastor's wife?
Yes.
Wait a minute. What was
She
going on?
She wanted to be the lead, singer in the choir, and she couldn't sing. Oh. So, and it wasn't even like I wanted that position. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it's because I always say it's not like I was the best singer.
Yeah.
But what I was told from my pastor is that you don't have to be the best singer, but it's like whoever is called, right? To be the leader and, because that's just the anointing that's on your life. So I did that, I was being obedient, but I got a lot of hate and jealousy from that. So that is what kind of made me.
It was the pastor's wife that you were getting it from?
Oh yeah. It was
Terrible.
bad. It was bad. It broke me. I'm not even gonna lie. It made me to resign and leave the church.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you quit like cold turkey?
Oh,
just woke
yeah.
up one day and just, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So she said things directly to you like.
Oh yeah, and just underhanded, just like sneaky, stuff and talking behind your back and just undermining and all of that, just like usurping the authority that her husband had given me. You know what I'm saying? All of those different types of things.
Wow.
So I was just like, you can have it
Now,
because
let me ask now, was the pastor sweet on you?
no, not at all.
Sweet on,
Not at all.
All right.
No,
I got the ask was the
No.
pastor might have been a little sweet
No,
on you,
not at
and
all.
She saw what was going on.
Not at
like,
all.
oh,
No, I definitely believe him to be a man of honor.
Fox in the hen house.
Yeah, because he didn't like stand up for his wife and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like he was trying to make sure that things were done right. And, I stepped down correctly. I wrote a letter and just explained some of the things and just said, for my own sanity and my emotional health, my spiritual health, I just need to step down. Like, she can have it. Here's the torch,
Right.
wow.
And back then, my ex-husband he had built a studio in the basement. And
So you were married back then?
Yeah, I
When
was
did you get
married back then. 1996.
How old were you?
Shoot, do the math. I'll be 51 next month. Math is not my strong suit.
I-
Do the math.
You got married.
Yeah, so
Was
we
it a high
were
school
married for 16
sweetheart
years.
or
I can tell you that.
Oh wow, you were married for 16 years? I didn't know that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No,
Sweetheart
not a high,
or
not
just
a, not a
got
high
met
school
or-
sweetheart. No, it's funny. We met outside of Classics nightclub in what is that considered?
That sounds like old juke John, old classic. We hit at the classic. I can hear it now. We hit at the classic.
That club was popping back then.
Yeah,
I
in
think
the DMV?
yeah, Suitland, Maryland. I think it's where that area, somewhere around there, over there by Andrews Air Force Base, somewhere over there. And he was not at all my type.
Oh, really?
Nope, not at
That's
all.
how to get you.
That's how to get you. Not at all my type. And he just asked me for my number, and I'm never trying to be that girl to be like, "No, I ain't giving you my number," whatever. So I just kind of like yelled it out as I was walking away, hoping that he would like get the hint. Oh, that she's not interested. So forget her.
16-year sentence.
You know? Yes. Oh my gosh. You ain't never lied. Yes. And he called me the very next day and he was just really, really nice. And I was like, oh, and I always like a bad boy,
Really?
Even my husband now.
Throughout your
boy.
history?
Yes, throughout my history. Right.
Why is that? Why do you feel like that is?
I don't know. Maybe just the way that again, going back to abuse, like the way that I was treated. And a lot of times you are drawn to that, right? Mm-hmm. Unless you go through a process of healing and discovering who you are. Right.
Yeah.
And so, just, and then me being such a strong woman, I'm an alpha female, not wanting to be with the guy that I could run over or control. Like that's no woman finds that sexy. I don't think anyway. Right.
Agree.
Mm-hmm, yes. So, but I had been through so much with the bad guys that when this guy came in my life, I was like, you know what? And at first it was a little tough pill to swallow because I was like, he was too clingy. And I was like,
Yeah.
And then, I was kind of like talking myself, in my head. I'm like, Angie, what are you talking about? He's too clingy. Every woman always talks about how she wants a man to treat her like a queen and wants him to do this and do that. Yeah. So you're tripping. Like, why are you not trying to give this guy a shot? Right. But I later learned, which was, I wish I would have learned this in the beginning, because I really beat myself up getting out of that marriage, right? Like, he was a good guy and he treated me really well. Mm-hmm. I just could not, that first year was nice, hot and heavy. It was different, it was safe, and I was like, I want to make this work. But then after that, every year was a struggle to be connected to him, to really feel love and passion and things like that for him. And so when I finally did just get out of the relationship and I was really feeling guilty and bad about it, and somebody said to me, a friend said, Angie, she said, stop beating yourself up over this, situation. She said, okay, he's a good guy and that's fine. He just wasn't your guy. Mm-hmm. And so even though somebody's a good person, if you don't have an attraction to them, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And I found myself every year trying to make it work, like going on these, couples vacations and retreats and, dressing up like being a different person, just doing all these things to try to make something spark. Could never make it happen. Nope.
Wow.
Yep. So I definitely had a 16-year sentence. 16-year sentence.
Are y'all still friends
way
today?
To put it. Well, not really. I would like to be his friend, and we have children together. Yeah. But I really, really hurt him leaving him. So I don't think he's ever gotten over that.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even though he's remarried and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, he's got a baby on the way.
Really?
Good luck. But
he just started back over.
He's my age, so I'll be 51 next month. So he's 53.
Got a
new baby on the way.
All right.
Wow.
He put the pads back on. He back in the game. Look at him. He's back in the game.
He's been with
Shout out to him. Shout out to my guy. I don't know your name, but
he's been with this woman for a long time. And when I found out that they were having a baby, I said, that's not possible because he had a vasectomy. But I found out he reversed it. So, she didn't have any children by him. So I guess she was just like, she ain't going to be the only one that have his babies.
He ran the cable back. He ran that cable right on back through there. All right. I see it.
Sure did. Yep.
Ain't no
Hats off to them.
no wrong
Good
with
luck.
That's good. goodness.
I was married before my 16-year marriage. My oldest son's father, he was a drug kingpin. And
wait, so you were married before then also? Oh, wow.
Yep. I believe in marriage, Sean.
You do?
I do. I do.
are-
I'm
are-
a one-man woman.
Yeah. You believe in love.
I do. I am a hopeless romantic.
Hopeless romantic.
I am.
So did you love him?
My first? I did. I had it bad for him. I did. He was Jamaican. He was Jamaican, and it was just, he introduced me to a different world.
Well, you was messing with a Jamaican drug dealer?
I had to think about island guys. Even Angel, he's Puerto Rican. It's island guys. I don't know. It was Hispanics and the island men. I don't know what that was.
Jamaican let you leave? Boy, they cut heads off.
I
How did
know.
you get out of that?
Well, he didn't get out of it because he's no longer here. He didn't make it.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let me leave that part alone. I don't want nobody from Jamaica doing all that. No parts of that.
Yeah, but he opened me up to a whole nother world, and I just it you know what? It's like I don't want to make this comparison, but just trying to get you to see it, like a Cassie and Diddy situation.
Yeah.
You got this young girl coming into this world with this guy who has money and power, and that's alluring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was the same situation with this guy. I met him. I was working for my dad, who owns a funeral home and a car wash, and he was coming to get his car wash, and I was a little flirty, and I was just like, "Oh, I like that shirt you got on. You gonna buy me one like it?" And he was like, "Yeah. What time are you gonna be ready?" Yeah. And he came and picked me up when I got
wow.
took me shopping, and like there was a whole new world to me, that I could just, it had expendable cash and, just living the life and new cars and all that kind of, it was, it's not, he was a cheater, but, so I put up with that for a while, but no, I really did. I really was in love with him.
Oh, wow.
See, you left that part of the story out.
It's in the book though. It's in the book.
That's the juicy stuff.
He
was. It's funny. He was a cheater, and oh my god! See, I'm telling you, there's a really cool story in here. Like,
y'all definitely got to get this.
You
book.
got to get the book. You got to get the
book.
book. But yeah, I did some crazy stuff with him, catching him cheating, and some of the things that I did, just to go after him and all of that. It was crazy. But he actually thought he had found pictures of me and MC Hammer, and some yes.
Oh, keep going. This is good. What? How you left all this out? Keep going.
Hammer?
What? Because I was singing. Remember, I was a singer.
What y'all
so
do?
I was doing shows and stuff.
What y'all do? Share baggy pants together?
Yeah, what's going on?
It was just we were at a show, and so we at the show we taking pictures.
Okay, all right.
And so
Too legit.
Hey, yeah.
No, but
So he found all these pictures,
Yeah.
and he just naturally thought that I was cheating on him. I'm like, no, nigga, because you was cheating. This is my career. Like, we do shows, we take pictures, we family, it's all love.
Yeah.
But he found these pictures, and he thought that I was cheating. And then he listened to, back in the day, you had the answering machines with the tape.
Oh, yeah.
And that if you picked the phone up while it was recording your conversation. So my brother would always sneak into my room and use my phone because I had a separate phone line. I was living with my dad at the time. And he had some little girl was calling him, and he was like, yeah, so why you be writing your name on my books and stuff? And she was like, I don't know. Yeah. It was a stupid, immature conversation.
Yeah.
He thought it was me.
Really?
He thought it was me.
Your brother?
Yes. And he would not believe it. He was just like, that's not no Randy voice. Me no a Randy voice. This not no. This is you. This is not no little Randy friend. This is your friend. And so he got jealous and he got mad. And then after that, it was like all the gloves were off. So if he was cheating before, I didn't know. But at this point, he was just like, it's whatever. And I'm out here doing whatever. And so, yeah, it got bad. And I had to like play some little games and get my own little boo on the side to be like, okay, you want to play?
Yeah.
We can play.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It was, I'm telling you, it was a wild time, man.
Wow.
It was a wild, I'm telling
Hammer
you.
got you in trouble. Boy, look here.
Yeah, Hammer, you got me in trouble.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Hammer's a good guy.
Yeah.
My cousin, Tiffany, she a few years ago, when she was a teacher, there was a big flood here, and there was a young guy. He was like 13, 14, 15. He drowned in like a ditch.
Oh, wow.
And he happened to go to the school where she was a teacher at. So she set up like a GoFundMe and to raise money for his funeral and for his family. And she was doing it like on Twitter. And Hammond just randomly, I guess, saw it, and he donated to it. He donated. Not only did he donate it to the cause, the GoFundMe, he kept up with it. So it was going on for like a couple of weeks. He donated like early on, and then he would check back with her. Yo, how y'all doing? You know, where we at on the numbers? And he ended up donating 2 or 3 times more to on the cause. Matter of fact, to this day, Hammond follows me on Twitter because I was talking to her while all of that was going.
Wow, that's what's up.
He's a cool guy. So shout out to Hammond. Shout out to Hammond.
You know, yeah. So I'm just like, you know, all of my story can't even fit in this book. You know, like I've even had some people to tell me that are in the industry, like, Angie, this could be a Lifetime story. Like you really like, this could be a movie. It's a lot. And I just think about the people that are not here, like places I was supposed to be that I ended up not being, and those people ended up getting killed. It was just like, what? Yeah. Listen, I got a purpose.
Yes.
I'm still here for a reason. Yes. It's crazy. Yeah.
So now your family life now, you have your son.
Yes.
You have Angel.
Yep.
You have you said your older son also.
Oh, I have 5 children total.
You have 5 children?
Yes. Where you been, Sean?
Wait.
I got 5.
How did I not know you had 5 children?
Yes, I'm a mom of 5. I know I don't look it,
Okay.
but
And you started over.
yes, completely.
Wow.
You know, 'cause that daggone Angel that caught me out there. He had my nose wide open. You know, I fell hard for him too. He had me. I was chasing him. He was not trying because I was still married, and so he was like, "I got principles," and you know what I'm saying. It was game, man. No, that's
my guy. It was
you know what I'm
game.
saying? It was game, and he played a real good game, man.
It worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, whenever we would get together in person, it was like, no. But when we weren't together on the phone, it was a whole different damn story.
Boy,
you know, he was playing games. Yeah, I couldn't get a kiss out of this man for 2 years. I couldn't even get a kiss out of him. He was just like, nope. And he tried to get me to work things out with my husband and all of that, and I just couldn't see nothing but him.
Sound familiar?
Oh yeah. Oh, y'all got a story. Hold up.
Hey.
Hold up.
That worked. Now that
You tell. I told you, you and Angel got a lot in common.
Hey. That's my guy. Angel is my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah.
You gotta let people make the choice on their own with a little bit of help. Got a little bit of power suggestion. Just a little power.
We gonna have to talk. We find out.
Yeah.
You been holding out.
My book ain't written yet.
Well, I can't wait now. I'm ready. I need to hear this story. Tell the story. Yeah, you know how she made it over.
You ready? All right, what's your name? Shaval. Okay, all right. Where you from?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I recently moved to Aubrey, Texas.
And just went through the insurance boot camp?
I did. I went through the insurance boot camp. I took the test the first time, but unfortunately I failed it. And LQ was able to help me study and get through it, and I passed. So,
Woohoo! All right. So what you do for a living?
I'm also a part of the tax preparer. So if you want to become a tax professional, hit up LQ. We're working on a new L, and the Q will get that.
Okay. You got a hand signature coming for. Show us the hand signature we got.
LQ power to the people.
All right, cool. So what you do for a living?
I own med spa.
Oh, you doing the BBLs over there?
I do. I make it go from a L to a big old B.
Well, cool. Well, we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, good
And
luck.
again, hit her up.
So I guess fast forwarding, as far as like things that you've accomplished, now you in your adult life. So what are some of the things like in your 20s that you were able to say, you know what, I did that?
Oh gosh, in my 20s to be able to say I did that. Well, see, in my 20s, I was still at this time, I was with my ex that I was with for 16 years. And we were very, very big in the church. I had a great church family. We did a lot.
Did y'all go to
of
the
things.
same church with the pastor?
Yes. That was the
Oh
same church.
wow.
So you went back
Wait,
to the
so
church
you and
that
your
you
husband?
left?
No, it's not back. That was just still part of that whole process.
So you and your husband were actually going, well, your ex-husband were going to church at the same church that you were having conflict with the pastor's wife.
Right.
That is crazy.
Yeah. That was
Wow.
the church we went to. Yep.
Like,
and
well,
so
you don't see my husband over here. Why are you trying to beef with me?
yeah. So
Wow.
yeah. So and that was I really loved that time though that we had because it was a family, and that's what I really love is family. Like that's my thing. So being a part of a church community where it's not like your big TD Jakes churches where everybody doesn't know each other.
Yeah.
Like I liked that intimate setting. We did everything together. I mean, like we did, picnics together and Bible studies at each other's houses. I mean, we did vacations together, like, like the leadership team and their families. We did all those kind of things together. So it was a great experience. We had a great run there, but then, getting, and then that's when, like I was saying, my ex had built a studio in the basement and he was encouraging me to get back into music. But I was so scorned by what I had gone through at the church that I didn't even want to sing anymore.
Wow.
I was like, nope, I don't want
They
it.
disencouraged you that much that it just kind of stole your joy from you.
100%. And so I would never go down in there. And then, so he was talking to me about it and he was like, I feel like, he could feel me kind of like pulling away. And he was like, I feel like, there's a void. He was like, what do you think that's missing in your life? What's the void? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, I think it's music. And he said, and I think you need to get back into it. And I literally said to him, I said, I don't want to do it because I feel like if I do, I'm going to lose my family.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And he was like, why would you say that? I said, because I really feel like it's going to pull me away. Because again, like I said, it was already a struggle to be with him.
Yeah.
And you get me out here to my love.
You were basically saying, I barely like you. I get out here and find something else. You're going to be gone.
Yeah, I mean,
In so many words.
so
you
many
could kinda
words.
say that, like,
yeah, basically. Yeah,
Wow.
but he was like, he'd rather me go out there and do that than to stay there and resent him.
That's a noble thing to say.
Yep.
That's a good guy.
And how far after you left the church did you actually end that relationship? Was it some years?
Oh yeah, no, it was some years. I would
Okay.
say maybe 8 years, maybe 7 or 8 years
Okay.
after
Okay,
that.
so
Because we went on a run, we went on the run. Look, Beyonce,
Yeah.
Jay-Z, we went on the run. With my music career, so
okay.
traveling,
Y'all went all in on
Oh
the music.
yeah, went all in. I
You're
went
doing
to,
secular music now.
no, that was gospel
you were
music
still
at the
doing
time.
gospel.
No, this was me doing gospel in a professional way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is me reaching back out to my old manager saying, listen, I know you don't know much about the gospel industry, but this is what I want to do. So he, worked whatever
Oh, so
connections
he didn't
had.
have any experience.
No,
on
his
gospel.
whole thing was secular.
You took him into the fire pit.
Yep. And so, but I mean, even just like what I did, with my time that I had in that industry was like things they had never seen before. Because see, I brought the professionalism and the expertise of the secular world into the gospel industry. So like my music video that came out, nobody in gospel had a music video like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I would show them, this was my CD, Lessons in Love, from the gospel industry. When they saw, the jacket and how everything was put together, the pictures, they had never seen anything like that before. You know what I'm saying? So I brought that level there, and just because of how I marketed and promoted and showed up everywhere for everything. Like I don't consider myself to have what's considered a gospel voice, right? I was more like the Mary J. Blige of the gospel industry. I got on big shows with major artists just because of my representation, because of how I showed up, because of the aura that I had around me. And they were like, yo, if you wanted to sell tickets and you wanted to be, you better get her on that show.
Yeah.
Yes, that was how I got on Dietrich's show. That's how I did things with Fred Hammond. Being able to be around and interview and hang out with like Kurt Franklin. They gave me, and Marvin Sapp, they gave me, and even Yolanda Adams. And I know a lot of times Yolanda Adams gets a bad rap from people and they say a lot of negative things about her, but she was always very kind to me.
So you worked with some of the biggest of the
Oh
things.
yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing but love. I had a lot of love, from those people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm appreciative of every experience that I had, and they showed me a lot of love, like doing the Dove Awards, doing Stellar Awards, because I did also some media and doing interviews and stuff like that for different networks. And where certain people couldn't get in the door and do interviews, where they were like, I'm done. They saw my face and were like, she can come in, bring her in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was all love.
Oh, that's cool.
That's real good. Was it any of those celebrities, gospel celebrities that you was like fame struck from? That you was just like, I was just happy to be right here in the room or with them.
Well, I don't think that I was ever starstruck in the gospel industry, but those that influenced me in my younger years when I had given my life to the Lord would have been like the Winans, which I never really had a chance to really meet them. But I did have a chance to meet the Clark sisters and be with them, like on the One Love Gospel Cruise. And then Fred Hammond was probably the biggest of all of them, who was a big influence on my life because his music was so it was closer to the secular sound than any of the other gospel music. You know what I'm saying? So
people forget that when they came out, they being Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin, kind of that early 90s era, how different that gospel music was than everything else. Nothing like that sounded like that since Andre Crouch. Well, Crouch,
you're right.
Andre Crouch is the originator.
There you go. You're right.
Yeah, mixing that secular with gospel, but
so that urban sound.
It was almost R&B. It was close. It was really close.
Yeah. So whereas Fred never really crossed over, but Kirk did.
Yeah.
And so me being able to share that space with Fred, meeting him
Y'all
on
had a really close relationship. Y'all had a really close relationship.
Oh yeah. I mean, I lived with him for 1 year. He's the one responsible for bringing me here to Texas.
Oh, okay.
He's also the one responsible. That's how I met my current beau. So, yep, because he was executive protective officer for Fred. And
so he was doing the security for Fred.
Yep.
So yeah, a little bodyguard situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Shout out to my guy
Whitney Houston, Kevin Costner type situation. Yeah, we had an instant connection. But Radio 1 used to do a One Love Gospel Cruise every year.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And so I was one of those artists on there every year. So I mean, we are on there with all of the major artists and independent artists and things like that, and doing shows together and just kind of cohabitating and with all of them. So that was where I got to spend a lot of time. Donnie McClurkin, God bless him. I love that man. He always showed me a lot of love. He gives the best hugs. And so it was a really good time. I was really out there with all of those people at the Dove Awards. And actually, I was one of the first. It was the 24th anniversary of the Stellar Awards, where they had the first urban gospel showcase. And that was me. I was on that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. It had never been done before.
Wow.
Yep. So there's some footage out there on YouTube. Y'all check it out. But yeah, so it's pretty
Do you
cool.
ever miss those days of doing gospel music and being so close into it?
I don't know if I miss those days per se, because just the politics of it all, I don't really enjoy.
Yeah.
I would say that I recently realized that I miss songwriting. So that would be something that I would love to get back into. I mean, I have a prolific songwriting gift and ability. Yeah. So I would love to be able to get back into that. But the music industry has changed so much that I wouldn't want to get back into it in that perspective. But
Fred Hammond is how you end up getting to Texas. How did that pan out? How did that happen?
How did that happen, or how did it pan out?
That's not pan out. Well, how did it happen? Because so to kind of catch us up of where we are right now.
Okay.
You got a pretty good music career in the gospel world. You're married. You're working with big gospel artists. You are in particular working with Fred Hammond.
So
you live with him,
right? But I wasn't working with him at the time. So I got to actually make a personal connection with him on the One Love cruise, and that was through
so
Angel.
You met him on the cruise.
I had met him before, but that's what I'm saying. We were able to really connect, right? So I had met him, shows and awards and all that kind of stuff in passing, right? But this is where I actually got to connect with him, and that was as a result of Angel, right, who is my current beau.
Okay.
And then also one of my friends back then named Lydia, right? Fred loved the girls,
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
He was just like, hey, can you introduce me to your girl, whatever, what have you. So I introduced them, and they ended up hitting it off really, really well.
That's awesome.
And so
Boy, Fred, look at Fred.
Yeah.
No weapon, huh? Okay. I see you, Fred. No weapon, huh? Fred's going to get it in. I see you, Fred.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Buddy.
So we just, he had offered me a job, and he was, and it was kind of like, he was moving the young lady and her family to be with him because they were together. She was moving in with him. And, she was just like, Angie, you should come with me, whatever. And, so I had been kind of like helping them out and working with them. And he offered me a job, and I was like, well, you know what? I've been wanting to get to Texas anyway because I came here and did a promo tour, and I really fell in love with the people. And I was like, this would be a great opportunity. So I took him up on the job offer, and I moved with him and stayed with him for a year, until I got my own place. So things did not pan out the way that I wanted them to, which, if you want to find out the story, you should get the book. But yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things that, so basically I was doing very, very well in my career until I took that position with Fred.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kind of went south, didn't pan out like you wanted it.
No, he's not the man that I thought that he was.
Oh.
Yep. But I'm always somebody like a cat that land on her feet.
Yeah.
I'm a touchdown kind of chick.
Yeah.
So
And you landed on your feet in Texas at the end of it. And up until this portion of your life, you had been based out of DMV, even though you had traveled.
I had a short stint in Georgia.
Okay.
In Dallas, Georgia, believe it or not.
Dallas, Georgia.
Yeah, so I had a short stint in there, did a lot of shows and stuff at a place called the C Room. So shout out to Sergio Kroom. So that was really fun, being out there. So yeah, I was there for about a year, and then I transitioned and moved here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Popped up in Texas.
Yeah.
So now you're here in Texas and you doing your thing. You're still doing music, or
No, I haven't done music in a long time. So when I so after that whole thing, went south with Fred, I was just, again, like what happened with the church, where I was so scorned. I wanted nothing to do with it. Then I went through this with Fred, and I'm like, you know what? This was bad, even like, Dietrich reached out to me and just, gave me love and stuff like that. Just kind of reading in between the lines.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people at that time that weren't really, and there were a lot of people that were kind of distancing themselves from Fred as well because of things that just, everybody had their own individual experiences with him.
Yeah.
And so I had to get a job. I had left my ex-husband, and then I was in this new hot and heavy relationship with Angel, right? The bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
And then found myself pregnant with my now 10-year-old.
Wow.
So then it was like, okay, so now I've got to bring my other kids here because I'm no longer with my ex, and now I've got this new baby on the way. I can't be traveling the world and doing music like, like I need to, help my kids heal from this breakup. Yeah. I've got to heal, and I've got a new baby that I have to be able to take care of. So I went and got a job, and I'm gonna tell you, and I was 42 or I was 40. Yeah, I was 42. And listen, job, in my opinion, stands for just over broke.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I did not
What
want
were you doing?
a job. I
What kind
actually
of job?
worked at a company called PCI. Publishing Concepts Incorporated, and they basically produced the directories for colleges for the alumni. And so we basically
like the little books they give out.
Exactly. Right. So it was one of those, jobs where I had to call people and read a script and get them to buy the book and get them selling the T-shirt and the hat and the cups and all that stuff. I hated as a matter of fact, when they hired me, I didn't even make it through the training process. I'm serious. I found myself in the stairwell of that place in tears.
Oh, wow.
Like, this cannot be my life. Yes. I was like, this cannot be my life. Like, what, I can't do this. And they were so damn nice. And they were just like, oh, because I made up some story. Somebody died in the family or something. It was just like, oh, I got to go home.
Wait, so you went straight to killing people?
I did.
Straight in. Yeah, somebody dead. I gotta leave.
I did, and they were just like, "It's okay, your job is secure." Fuck, I do not want this job. And they were just like, "Just get yourself together and come back. Your job will be here." And I'm like, "Damn," So I was thankful, but at the same time, I didn't want it.
Yeah.
But I did what I had to do for 2 years, and then I just woke up one day. I mean, and I tried. I think I tried everything to try to get fired and everything. Like they were so nice. Yes, they would not. And I was just like, my life, like this can't be the end of my story, right? I was like, something has got to give. And I was on Instagram one day and saw the woman who was actually my fitness instructor back in my early days in music when I was touring and stuff. She would get me in shape. She was a fitness instructor. And she was just in her boat on the water talking about, being in her mobile office and all this. And I was like, what is she doing? And I called her up and asked her, what was she doing? I had searched her up on Facebook, and she looked like her life was grandiose and mine was in shambles. And she told me about Pure Romance, which is how I ended up getting into the sexual healthcare industry. Yeah.
Wow.
And so she brought me in, and fast forward, I've been doing this for 8 years, and it's opened a lot of doors for me. Getting certified, being able to write my book, starting the reality show, all of that. So it's been great.
So when you first started into that business, like, were you nervous? How did you feel uncomfortable? Like, how did you feel in that moment?
Initially, I was very nervous and concerned because, number one, I didn't know what this was.
Yeah.
Pure Romance. Okay, they sell sex toys, and that was all that I knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, and again, coming out of the gospel industry, and even though, again, they're doing everything up under the sun, my thought was, I don't know how God sees this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
You went
know.
from church to selling weenies.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big change.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was
that's a
just
big
like,
change.
I said I needed something fun to do. I said I need to make money, but I'm not trying to bust hell wide open. I don't really know.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
real. And then I had to think about my kids. I'm like, I don't know, because everything was so, we're so programmed in the church.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know if I'm opening up my home to these spirits that are going to come on my children,
Yeah.
like lust and all this kind of stuff, So I talked to, my husband about it, and I was like, what, I don't really know what to do. And he said, well, I have those same concerns. He said, but I believe that God knows your heart, and I think God knows what it is that you're trying to do. So he said, I cover you. He said, I cover you. He said, we'll just make sure when you bring these products in the house, our kids were really young, that we just keep them locked up, we're under lock and key,
I'll leave it on the
right? All of that.
Yeah.
And, so I was very nervous because, we do parties. So when you say we do parties, I'm like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
Kind of party.
But it means something different where I'm coming from.
Are they having orgies at these parties? Because coming out of the music industry, when you say you're going to a party, a sex toy party too is a little different.
Yeah, a little different. Yeah.
So I was very nervous going to the first party because I didn't know what to expect. And when I went to actually shadow someone to see what my job would be. And so I went to the party to observe.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, I was like, this is it? Like, this is girls' night.
Yeah.
Like, we get together with the girls and we have some drinks, some snacks. We talk about relationships. We talk about sex. But this professional that is leading this party is educating women properly, professionally, very, tasteful, and helping women to become empowered in their relationships or with themselves. I'm like, I'm going to get paid to do this?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And it's been nothing. I've never felt at any point in doing this that I was disappointing God or that I was doing something that was not pleasing in his sight. Because it has actually been more of a ministry doing this than my time in church and in the gospel industry ever was.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fake and phoniness on that side, right? And people not being real, and then coming into this, these are regular, everyday people that are not looking to judge. They're looking for help. They're looking for love. They're looking to save their marriages. They're looking to heal from their past traumas. There's a lot of people that I run into that share my same story, which affects their sex lives in their marriages or just in their singlehood. You know what I mean? So anytime at a party, I've prayed with people in my shopping room.
Wow.
I've had so many women to thank me and tell me, you have no idea what you've done for my marriage. To me, that's God. Right? That's love. And, the Bible says, John said, I became as all things to all men with the hope that I might save some. So it's just real authentic that I can really be me, and I really have a heart to serve and love people. And so I really feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, this is Doug Johnston with Artistic Visuals at LQ Financial Group. You're probably one of the #1 startup production companies in the DFW area. Got to work with global stars Erykah Badu,
Real shy, hey, diggy.
David O. Executive produced a show recently with Boosie for the Boosie Gone Bad.
It's what the world been waiting on. I'm finna change the game. I got my own platform. It's going down.
So with all that said, LQ and her organization have helped us grow as a small company, with our taxes or any type of business mentorship and helping the growth in the DFW area. So if you're a small company or a mid-sized company, even a large company, but you guys need direction, the LQ Financial Group.
So why do you feel that, or you think that church people like put shame or on the whole like sex life? Like, why do you think they think like that, or feel like it needs to be something that's protected or covered or shouldn't be done?
I think it's control. I think it is definitely misinformation, misinterpretation. Just give you an example. One of the ladies that I'm partnered with in business, she was married to a pastor. She was a pastor's wife when she got into this business. Mm-hmm. And her, the direction that she wanted to take this business was she wanted to focus on married couples. So she wasn't just like trying to educate just anybody and everybody. Her focus was married people. Beautiful, beautiful person. And the way that she presented things was never offensive. I don't think that how I presented is offensive either, but she was just different. And that I couldn't see her church family or pastors seeing that anything that she was doing was wrong. Mm-hmm. But they did. And they threatened her and her husband.
Oh, wow.
And was like, if you don't stop, if you don't leave this business, we're going to take back the funding from his church.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, are you serious? That's control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like what she is doing in her personal life, which I didn't think was anything that was bad, but helping married people.
Yeah.
You're going to now make everybody else suffer. You're going to now like shut this church down where this pastor is, as far as I know, is doing good for the people. Yeah. It's not something that she's doing at her church that you're funding. This is her separate private life.
Yeah.
And so I know that a lot of those guys or men or whatever that stood in that position, they probably cheating on their wives.
Yeah.
They out there picking up prostitutes and doing all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they don't want their big blue uglies to be discovered. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want to control and not let you do certain things. So I think it's a lot of that, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I have people... Yeah, I mean, we've seen these kind of stories unravel over the years where you then find that a pastor has been living a certain life that's derogatory to what he preaches is the word of God, stuff like that. So, yeah, I just think it's misinformation. I think it's control. Yeah, I mean, God owns sex. He created sex. You read the book of Psalm, and all of that is supposed to be a beautiful thing. Yeah. But just even bigger than sexual pleasure, let's just take it to basics of sexual health. Mm. Like these women don't even know their bodies and they're suffering. They're in pain.
And that's a big part of what you do. I always see you post about that. That's a big thing that you do.
Yeah.
Actual education. It's really not. And I hate to admit this. I'd rather joke about the weenies.
Yes.
A lot of stuff I see you post is really education.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, do this, do that, take care of this, take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. Because there's not really, aside from us, in the Pure Romance world and the Patty Brisbane Foundation, there's not another organization that does that for women.
Oh, wow.
No, everything has always been about men. And
women need it.
And women need it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's always been that women were objects to please men.
Yeah.
And now they're being taught or deprogrammed. Mm-hmm. And that's why you have the Cardi B's, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Sexy Reds, the Suki Hanas. They're taking it a whole. I know it's like in some of that. I don't like how it's being presented, but a lot of that comes from oppression.
Yeah,
they've been oppressed and controlled, and now they're saying, "I'm gonna do and say whatever I want to say because it's my body." And you've been, exploiting me and my body.
So now let me exploit you.
Exactly.
Or let me exploit myself.
Yeah,
for you.
I'm going to take my power back and I'm going to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and we don't all agree and we don't all like it, but I understand the place that it comes from. You know, so yeah, I mean, there are women that don't even know where they urinate from. Because who's teaching, who's educating? Because the talk in the household is, you know, we don't talk about sex, we don't talk about our bodies, all of that. It just opens up a whole nother can of worms. So where are women learning this stuff? In the street? You know, and that's why there's so, you know, diseases, because there's unprotected sex that's happening because they don't really know, you know, or just understanding that their body is theirs and it's not for anybody else, you know, to just take control of, you know, all of that. So, I mean, look at what's happening with the whole Cassie situation, you know, and her at 18 years old, you know, getting involved with Diddy, and her, you know, and people will say, and I've heard it, people say, well, doesn't she know how to say no? Well, how did she for 10 years? Why did she take that? Why didn't she say, come on. It's like, being controlled, being, you know, brainwashed, you know, afraid of the power that somebody else has over you and some people don't make it out. Thank God Cassie made it out. And she's, from what I understand, in a loving marriage now and has a baby, you know, and things like that, you know, but it's a lot just for a woman to know and understand her power and her body just changes the game in so many ways.
Yeah. With you surviving, you know, the situation when you were younger with sexual assault, how did that play into when you actually went into pure romance? Did you have some apprehension there? Was there a conflict there mentally, or how did you kind of balance the two?
No, the only conflict that I had, you know, like I said, was in the beginning, just not really knowing or understanding if this was a good thing to either to bring into my home or to promote to other people. Because I understand I have a responsibility, and, you know, and I serve God. I believe in God, and I don't want to do anything that is going to destroy my relationship with him. So until I became educated and understanding, you know, that this wasn't a lustful thing, this isn't a dirty thing, sex isn't a dirty word, you know, but being responsible and how you educate people. Like I'm not educating women on sex that are under 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, you 18 or over, you're old enough to be responsible and to learn these things. Now, I think that in your home as a parent, we should be teaching and educating our children at a much younger age, you know, but somebody on the outside should not be educating your children under that age. You know what I'm saying? So I just really, getting into this world of sexual health and women's empowerment has empowered me in ways I never thought possible. Like, I really feel like Superwoman. Like, I feel, as you used the word, unfuckwithable. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is so much bigger than a product. It's so much bigger than sexual health. It is just about women being empowered to know that they matter, that, you know, nobody should be able to take control of their lives, and that your past doesn't have to define you. We all have stuff that's happened to us growing up, you know, and it's affected us, but being able to see examples of women that say, hey, I'm not going to let that control me and affect how I move forward in life and become successful. You know, so it has done a lot for me in a positive way.
So now you're one of the bigger brands. What, Zelia Zebras?
Yeah. So that was my team name. But yeah, I am the first Black woman to hold the highest title in pure romance.
Oh wow!
So that was a really, you know, and it wasn't like I sought out to do that. But I mean, you think about, you know, unfortunately, minority women, we're the ones that don't have the education. And I didn't know that until I got in, you know, and there was a lot of conversation about, you know, only, you know, the women that are big in the company are big because all their clients are white. You know, all their clients are Caucasian, and we have, you know, these Black clients, and they're in the hood. And so therefore, you know, so I learned early on that I mean, of course, you know, you look at socioeconomic status does play a factor in some way, but the biggest thing that it is education. Because, I mean, listen, Black people, we are the ones that keep the economy going. We spend the money on these things, on shoes, on the designer shoes, designer bags, all those things. But the reason why we weren't spending money on sexual health is because we didn't see the value. And so I feel like my responsibility was getting Black people or minorities to see the value in spending their money on vibrators, on, you know, enhancement products, just basic bath and beauty. It's a lot of dirty chicks out here. I'm just
Yes.
gonna put it out there. They looking real good on the outside, but you unwrap that and it's not pretty.
Right.
You know, but that's also because they weren't educated on the importance of it. And so if they had to choose, it's like, I'm going to spend my money on this designer bag, or I'm going to get this bundle of weave. I'm not spending no $200 on no vibrator or no enhancement products. So I feel like once they've been educated, they see the value, and now they can spend their money on that.
So you were tapping into a marketplace that the company itself hadn't really pursued.
No, where they pursued it, but they just didn't have that figurehead that people.
And they didn't have any black women to.
They had black women, but I think, you know, unfortunately, there's certain, I mean, we see it now all the time. Certain black men and certain black women actually make it through the door. All about how you represent yourself, all about the look, all about how you speak, all of that, right? So, you know, me, I grew up middle class, you know, professional woman, you know, things like that was safe. You know what I'm saying? That was safe for people to see, like, you know, she's safe. And we can have her represent. We know she's not going to say anything crazy. She looks, you know, she's pretty. She looks, you know, she dresses well. All of that. That's just my thought process. I believe that.
Safe when they let you.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you're not safe. They got bamboozled. You are not safe.
Psych.
At all. Yeah, y'all fell for that. Yeah.
She said, "Gotcha,
bitch." Nah, you wasn't safe. But you got in the door.
It's the code switch.
That got you in the door.
Yeah, no, but
for you to write your own situation.
Yep, and it gave a lot of other women that look like me hope.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this company's been around 31 years.
Yeah.
And the founder and the president, they want that representation. They want all women.
Because once they saw you could do it, and saw what you were tapping into, they say, "Oh, we need more of that."
Yep, it's true. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, the sad thing is, though, even still, you know, unfortunately, we still have not had the growth as Black women within this industry that we should.
Oh wow!
The Latino market, they've come in and just took over. Oh. I think that they have a different work ethic. You know, they have a certain level of desperation because you know they don't have. And they're just like, they're going to work, get out there and get it. And unfortunately, and I, to be honest, don't really understand the reasons why. But when I talk to, you know, like even my husband, or I talk to other people that kind of know the struggle of Black people coming up in racism and all that, they have different viewpoints as to why that's not happened. For me, I don't get it. You know, I'm just like, as a Black woman, I mean, I just love people, period. And just like you, LQ, we talk about this all the time. I call her the plug. You know, she's always out here helping other women that look like her. And if we had more of that, and also had people that are not afraid to work, we would have so much more. We would accomplish so much more. But it's like, no matter who I bought in that looked like me, they haven't gotten even to my level, and they didn't stick.
But you said a key word earlier. You said about being basically trained that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like our culture, after, you know, seeing a lot of them and talking to a lot of women that, you know, and like you said, helping people do better. The biggest thing is because of where they come from, they've been trained in their mindset, even though they're talking the talk, like, oh, well, we're not doing this because this, and we was off of this and the slavery this and da-da-da, but they still keep that same mindset of, oh, well, I'm not going to get that because I can't afford this, or, oh, I'd rather spend it on weave, like you said, versus things that actually need for better sexual health. So to me, like, that's what I've viewed it, and I've seen even people when it comes to the financial stuff, they looking at that quick, hey, let me get that quick money real quick because this is what I'm going to be able to get this rim and this hair and pay for my man, this, that, and the other. And then they car getting repoed in 3 months.
Right. Yeah. It's bad. And I'm going to tell you, and don't get me wrong, every race and culture of women have their issues amongst each other. Right. Absolutely. So I'm not just trying to like single us out, but when it comes to business and building a legacy, I mean, I just got to admit that other races just do it differently and they do it better, you know, because even being in this industry, my Caucasian sisters in this business, they share everything with us. They don't have a crabs in a barrel mentality. And they're like, anything that they can do to help you to achieve the success they've had or more, They're giving it freely. And I've never experienced that before in my life before getting in this industry.
Yeah.
And that's been such a huge blessing. I mean, because again, the color of my skin, being a light Black woman, you know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of struggles with my own Black sisters, you know what I'm saying? Not loving on me or being jealous and all that kind of stuff. And so coming into this industry and having women just like be eager to help and it'd be no strings attached, no drama. What? Where they do that at?
Yeah.
I love it. So this has been a safe place for me, you know, but I'm also realizing, you know, which I talked to you about, LQ, that I have to get out more and expand my territory because I can't play safe.
Yeah.
You know, but I've just been loving and embracing just the love and the togetherness and the empowerment of my clients within this sexual health world and pure romance. But I have to get out and mingle with other people. I just don't like drama.
All right, what's up, y'all? We got
I'm tired.
here today. He just came in for the insurance agent boot camp. So how you feeling today, man?
And I feel good. I'm real confident in everything you guys are doing, and I really appreciate you for just getting me through the process and getting me through this course, because y'all made it very simple for me.
All right, where you from?
I'm from Conroe, Texas, just north of Houston.
What's your actual industry that you're in right now?
Financial industry, deal with taxes, plus now life insurance, credit restoration, and at some point we're going to get into doing funding and finance.
Oh, you got all the money. You got all the money?
I'm trying to get
Oh man, I should be down. I should have asked you about the money. You got all the money. Cool. So you're just looking to expand and kind of branch out a little
Run the
bit.
brand.
That's good. Well, we appreciate you coming down.
Appreciate
Yep. Good luck on everything, all your future ventures.
All right.
So how many people do you have on your team now?
Well, you know, we've actually had our company has had a transition. And so we are no longer listed as what would be considered like an MLM, although we were never a multi-level marketing company, but we kind of got grouped with them.
Okay.
So that element, that team element has been eliminated so that we are no longer being put under that umbrella and microscope, because it really caused a lot of issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. With the FTC and, you know, all of that. Right. And it's because other companies have done bad things.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of made it bad for everybody else. And so now we're just one big team, you know, of
Just
pure
one
romance.
big-
Yeah. One big sisterhood of women. So we're now just kind of cohabitating, and we still, I mean, you know, it's just like we're not getting paid on levels of teams and things like that, but we are still very much a team.
Gotcha. So your zebras are still.
We're still forever as a sisterhood.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, got it.
yeah. And I'm still recruiting women into the business. So, hey, if you're looking for work and to make some money and have some fun, only hit me up if you're serious about working, because I work.
Got
I
it.
work.
Hey.
Doctor. I got to think about Big Daddy Kane. But yeah. So, yeah, definitely. We're still all one big family and things like that. It's just changed a little bit. And so our focus is not like the different teams. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. So you mentioned and kind of touched on it a little bit here and there. You actually wrote a book about your life story that's kind of told some of what we've spoken about and some additional things. What made you get into have the idea that you wanted to write a book?
I always knew that I needed to write a book. I always
Needed
knew
to
that.
write
Oh
a book.
yeah, my life has been something else.
Yeah.
Jesus, the fact that I'm still here, somebody needed to read that book.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always knew that I needed to write it, and I thought, you know, it was the perfect opportunity during the pandemic. You know, we all had a lot more time on our hands, not having to be out there in the hustle and bustle, and because the president of Pure Romance, Chris Ciccanelli, had written a book called "The Secret Is You," and he had me to be included in that book.
Oh wow. He included you in his book.
He included me in that book as one of his success stories. And so
Co-authored book.
no, it's not co-authored. He just had me featured in there with some other consultants as well as part of our success stories and his success as well. So the person that helped him with his book, when he interviewed me and I was talking to him about, you know, my life and the fact that I want a book, and he said, "Hey, listen, if you want some help," he was like, you know, let me know and I'll be more than happy, you know, to be able to help you tell your story.
Gotcha.
And his name is Ray Richmond. He's out of LA, and he's an amazing, you know, writer and editor. He's been around for a very long time. As a matter of fact, he was just at the premiere of Oprah Winfrey's new Color Purple. So he was there with her and all of that. And so I said, yeah, this was because, you know, I've always wanted to write a book, and I always kind of like jotted down different chapters or things that I want to talk about. But one of my weak points has always been the process of things. Like I'm an execute, finalize person. But, like actually going through the process and breaking things down, that's always been a struggle for me to actually get those things and going and stay on track. Like I'm a squirrel. I'm over here, I'm over there, over there. And so actually having somebody to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work together. And this is the process. Like I need someone to say, look, this is the process. And I'm like, oh, that's the process. Okay, I can take it and run with it. But actually developing the process and just going about it on my own, I need accountability and deadlines.
Oh, and that's why it was good to have him.
Yes, because he'll be like, okay, so we're going to meet on this day, and this is going to be the topic. We're going to talk. I'm going to interview with you about this, and so that was what helped me to get the book done. You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of people need that. Otherwise, they're writing their story for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got it done. Maybe 8 months. I think we started. Maybe we started like June. Yeah, maybe June. We probably started, and don't ask me what year. I have to think back. But and then the book was going to print and everything that following year in May.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was a quick turnaround.
Oh, yeah. We got it done.
Did you have to go through the process of like getting a publisher and all that good
Well, I self-published and so I self-published. So I didn't look to go to like a larger entity to publish it, but it's available everywhere. It's available everywhere. Everywhere you can find books. If you were to Google it, you'll find it everywhere.
What's the
Hard
name of
copies
it? So-
called Who Are You? Tales of a Survivor.
Okay.
And it's also on Audible, so you can get it on Audible. That it
Okay.
was important to me to have it there as well for people who don't really like to read. And I also, the way that I wrote the book, I felt, which was validated, I felt it was written in a way that even the non-reader would be engaged. And it's definitely, a lot of people read it in one day. It's definitely a book you don't want to put down.
Yeah. Cool. So y'all make sure y'all pick up the book. Tales of a Survivor.
Who Are You? Tales of a Survivor. And if you want an autographed copy, reach out to me directly, and then that way I can actually sign one and send it to you. But if you don't care about that, you just go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold.
So is this the only book that you have? Do you plan on writing another one?
I'm sure that I will. There's going to be a lot to come from this reality show that is going to be coming out pretty soon. So I'm sure there's going to be another book.
So let's talk about this reality show. Just a little sneak peek of what do people expect from this reality show?
So I'm hoping that people will get, again, a lot of the same empowerment of women working together and being successful in business, and fun and camaraderie and things like that. And I know the time that we live in, a lot of these reality shows like drama and all that kind of stuff, there's always going to be some level of drama when you get a bunch of women together. Yeah. But that's not my focus for the show. You know what I'm saying?
Is it based around your pure romance business?
Yeah, it's based around, and my sexual health care business.
Oh, so
more so. Yeah.
Okay.
So, for the women that are a part of the show, they are all consultants as well, so they're independent consultants, and they all have a story to tell, and what made me think about doing this, 'cause I hadn't thought about trying to produce a show, but we were actually at a huge convention that we had like right out of the pandemic where things kind of opened up for a minute and then it shut back down.
Yeah.
So it opened up and we had such a huge impact on people virtually. When I say we, meaning my team of the Zealous Zebras. Like we've always been known for just our love and just the fun. Like everybody wanted to be a zebra. Like people on other teams, like, girl, I wish I could be on your team. I want you to be my leader. Because we just the air just that we gave off, which people were drawn to that, like people are looking to be validated. Women, especially, they're looking to be loved. They're looking to be accepted, And so when we showed up for that convention, we were like fucking rock stars. Like it shocked me. I mean, they were just like, oh, it's the Zebras. Oh my God, it's Angela. It was just like, and the new girls that were there were like, oh my God, we famous, bitch. Like what is happening? They were like, oh my gosh, girl. They were just soaking it all up. Yeah. And so I thought about the ladies that I was there with, like the core group of ladies. And I was like, this is a show. I was like, if we have this kind of impact on these ladies within this realm, we need to take this to the world. If we're going to affect women like this, other people need to see it. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to put my money on this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a risk taker. I'm put it all out there, you know what I'm saying? And so I did use my money to actually finance this project because I wanted to control the narrative.
And you believed in it.
Absolutely. And I want to tell my story the way I want to tell my story.
Yeah. So no fighting and that, no drink throwing, no.
There was no drink throwing. There was no physical fighting, but there was a little bit of drama with one of the ladies on there. So we're going to have on one of the shows towards the end, it's going to be that whole little blurb like, so-and-so is no longer a part of the show. She had a mental breakdown, decided she didn't want, we had one that just went a little bit to the left. You know, we knew she was going to be a problem, but we needed people to see that problem.
Yeah.
We needed people to see, you know, like people go through stuff, you know, and I'm not mad at her, you know, but and hopefully she gets the healing that she needs. We tried to love on her and be there for her, but you know, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and some people just need some professional help, and I think that she needs professional help. I do. I'm not trying to be funny.
A wild endorsement. Yeah, she needs some help.
She does.
I said
1-800. Like,
But at the same time, I mean, like you said, like you just don't know what women go through.
You don't,
and you can't help everybody.
Nope.
So that's like,
Especially not her, huh?
listen. I was in her corner. I was riding with her. Trust me, I wanted her to win. And she, but you know, she kept putting it into the atmosphere that she wouldn't. She kept saying, I know you and I are going to get into it one day. She's like, it's just going. Why do you keep saying that? We're not. She was like, we're going to butt heads. Why? I don't want to butt heads.
Day one.
She just kept saying it. She was butting heads with everybody else.
She was like, you next.
And right.
she was
Like,
preparing you.
Yes.
I'm working my way over there. You next.
I'll be working my way back to. Yeah, I was the buffer between her and everybody else. And finally it came around. It was my turn.
Your turn.
Like you said.
Yeah.
And
you
I was
ready
like,
too.
yeah.
I can look at you right now. You was ready.
But you know,
oh, girl, I've been waiting for this.
No, because it was a huge test for me.
Oh, really?
Because I'm the leader of these women. I'm an example for them.
Right.
So you wanted to cut up, but you couldn't. You was ready.
Peace be still. Peace.
You have no idea the restraint.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
that
you
I had
pulled it
to
off.
have. I did. I pulled it off. It was a very humbling experience because I could not come back at her the way that she came at me. And on our last, event and trip together in Destin, it was horrible. The energy was so bad because of her. And not trying to, I didn't want to make her look bad in the eyes of everybody else. So people who didn't know just didn't know. They were just kind of like, what is going on here? Like, why is it? And why is it
not right?
Yeah, but I couldn't really speak on it because it would just open up a whole nother can of worms that I didn't want to taint, her reputation and other, because, whatever we got. But if she cool with this person, let her be cool.
Yeah.
It was rough, man.
And you got me wanting to watch it now.
Listen, I'm like, yo.
So when are you looking at
I wanted to get my goons on. I ain't
you
gonna
want
lie. But I held it together and I was an example, and and I'm grown.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass woman, and so I shouldn't have to get down and dirty like I used to back in the day.
Right.
Take the higher road. I didn't want to go lower.
Look at that growth.
I
Look
could
at
have
that
went
growth.
lower, but it was Jesus.
That's
it was
something to
bad.
be proud of, though, because you've grown from that.
Oh yeah, because the old Angelia, hey,
Would have took her to church.
under the church. Okay. I mean, because listen, I'm a good girl. I don't want no drama, no problems. But I've been tested a lot in my lifetime. Girls always wanted to fight me, and I always liked the bad boys. So my boyfriends were drug dealers. They were killers. You know what I'm saying? So it could have went a different way. You know what I'm saying? But I just, I'm here because I got out of that lifestyle, and a lot of those people are not here.
So through this process, how was it for you, like, letting your kids know what you actually do whenever you finally exposed it to them?
You know what? I thought that was going to be something tough to do, but the reason why it wasn't is because this isn't centered around sex. It's centered around women's empowerment. And so if you were to ask my kids what I do, even Tano, he will say, I help women. I help women, and I help, their relationships and marriages. And I mean, even let me tell you, My son, Tano is his middle name. His first name is Justino, but he likes to be called Tano.
Yeah.
He has actually done, I don't want to say trainings, but given motivational speeches to the girls on my team.
Oh, really?
Real talk. Like, he is somebody's CEO all day, every day. He would just be, he would just,
in the work.
yes, he would just tell them, he's like, yes, he was like, you need to get out there and don't be afraid and you got this and you can do it. He was like,
Oh, really?
I'm gonna tell you, if I showed you some of his little videos, like people have sent him gift cards. Like, thank you. Yep. Like, give this to your son and send him a little card, because he really like spoke to them, and hearing it come out of the mouth of a babe really empowered them. So yeah, he's like, and he's very like, when I'm doing my videos and stuff like that at home in my production room, he'll just be like, he'll leave me alone. He's like, oh, I don't want to see your stuff, whatever. So, it's not like he's like around picking up toys or saying whatever. So he knows that there is an adult side to what I do. But the way he sees it, it's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is really how we should be raising our kids. And it's just, you do what you know. I mean, because even when I was in this, I realized my oldest daughter, who's now 23, when she turned 18, she started assisting me at parties.
Oh, wow.
And one time on the way home, I'll never forget, she asked me, she said, Mom, she was like, what is the orgasm? And I was like, so here, a light bulb went off. Angie, you are out here empowering other women about their sexual health, and you're not even talking to your own children. Because I've just been so programmed just to not, because it was just bad, or just that I didn't have those conversations with my mom. Yeah. And so it's uncomfortable, because you kind of have to deprogram yourself and be okay. There are women still in this industry right now. The kids don't know what they do.
Yeah.
And they've been in it 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're just like, they just don't really know how to present it, or just don't want them to know that mommy sells sex toys. But here's the deal. They're learning this stuff in school.
Yeah.
They're learning it from their friends. And I would much rather them know it from me than to learn it from them. Because you just don't know how it's going to come out over there.
Yeah, you know the right information.
Yeah, and they're getting it at a young age. If you have your kids on social media, if they're playing these video games, you got these ads that are popping up that shouldn't be, and they're seeing naked women and all the stuff. So you have to educate them, because that secrecy, that it makes them want to explore and know, and then that makes them do things that might be inappropriate, because they've not been educated on what is appropriate for your age and what is not. And then when their bodies go through changes and they start feeling things and their hormones are raging, what do they do with those? You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk to them about what you do, and it's uncomfortable, yes, but the more that you normalize it, then it's not uncomfortable.
Right. You have a daughter that's a consultant too, don't you?
Corinne, she used to be. So yeah, she's now, her heart has always been photography. And I mean, well, earlier on when she was younger, she wanted to be a pediatrician, but she got the journalism bug and the photography bug. So she's away at school now, and her major is photojournalism.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Proud of your kids and everything they've done.
Most of them, yes. Most of them. Some are still trying to get it together. But I mean, look at all of that I went through. Oh, yeah. And I turned out okay. So I feel like this. My children belong to God first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't possibly love them more than he does.
Yes.
So whatever they're not doing, whatever they're doing or not doing that isn't pleasing in my eyes, I got to give it up to God and trust that they've been raised up and they're going to return back to what they know is right. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what's next for you? What's your future look?
This show, I got to get this show out. This is what's next. This is my main focus, is getting this show out and being able to expand it from there, because there's a lot of women that have a story to tell. So this is not just about these women in this first season. Like, I want to be able to have the second season be about a whole different group of women and following them and their lives and what they're going through, because that's how women get saved. When they get to see another woman that is like, wow, like she went through the things that I went through, or that's my situation. Yeah. But look at where she is now. So there is hope for me, and my life doesn't have to go to shit. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that, and it needs to be all races and cultures and all of that. So I'm really looking to be able to take my story and other women's stories to the world, because I'm just out here trying to save the world one vagina at a time. Hey, that's it. That's it. Yep.
Wait, what's your gang sign again? Hey.
Okay. Right. And look, and you see my husband, his is this. Look, it's so like that. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta use it.
Yes, he is gonna crack up when he.
Yeah, I gotta use
Yeah. He
it.
was like, "Hey, we need a sign too." Like, hold up, we got a sign. Oh yeah, so funny.
That is too funny, man. Angel is crazy. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes.
My bro.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. So that's definitely, I got to make that happen. So that's what's next. So we have several networks that are interested in the project. We just have to get it all together and finish. Like all of the I didn't realize we have 3 years worth of footage.
Oh, really? Yeah, because y'all shot at our office one day.
Office, yeah.
We have 3 years of footage, and so one thing that threw a monkey wrench into the timeline was the pandemic and us not having, because the way the show was supposed to end was at our world conference and seeing how we went from this to this, and this is a celebration. But then because of the pandemic, we didn't have it. And so we're like, how are we going to end the show now? So then we ended up doing the trip to Destin. That was supposed to be the grand finale. But then because it took so long to kind of start the editing process for things, we came back around the following year. And then we had this big world conference. I'm like, we want to get this footage so we can add it. And then we had the changes with the company. So there's a different way the story is going to be told. And I'm really excited for how it's all being done and edited. So make sure you all check it out. You'll know when it's ready. It's going to be blasted everywhere. Trust.
Yeah.
So for people to be able to follow you and to get your information, and where do they need to go?
Yeah, how did it?
Everywhere that you can go on social media. So for me on Twitter, which I don't tweet a lot, but I'm there. It's Party Girl Angelia, and it's spelled Angeli. Okay, so that's Party Girl Angelia. For my Instagram, it is Angelia Robinson Official. Okay, or is it the other way around? Official Angelia Robinson. Either one of those will work. TikTok, I'm Energizer Beauty. I'm the Energizer Beauty on TikTok. And on Facebook, it's just my name, Angelia Robinson, Angelia Robinson. So those are all the places that you can find me.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
We'll make sure we get that up.
And before we close this out, tell people about this other alter ego of you.
Oh, you talking about Roxy?
Yeah.
What's Roxy?
People love Roxy. So Roxy is this blonde-haired woman, that sometimes take over my social media. Yeah. She sometimes takes over my social media, and people seem to love her. She's just free and wild and fun and all of that stuff. So I like to bring her out every now and again. When I throw on a little bondage outfit, when I do little bondage events and stuff, it's Roxy. It's not me.
It's Roxy.
Yeah. She's the one that pulls out the whips and the chains and all those little crazy outfits and all of that. That's her.
All right.
Yes. So there's something for everybody.
Exactly. And I mean, listen, you got to be every woman. Okay. And so ladies, if you're listening, if you got a partner, you got to be every woman. So every now and again, you may want to throw on a wig, throw on some high heels and do a little something different,
So do you guys offer everything for every woman for our role playing and all of that too?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Well, we don't have wigs, but
gotta bring your own
maybe that's something I need to talk to the president about. We need some wigs up in here. But it's interesting that the company has really been known mainly more so for their liquid line over these 30 years, but because of TikTok, we now sell more sex toys than we do the liquid line.
Really?
So we are making, liquid line will be the enhancement products, bath and beauty, skincare was a new thing that just came out, stuff like that. Enhancement creams and, lubricants. That was, and see, people always want to say, oh, is it a toy company? We're not a toy company. We've had 70% bath and beauty and 30% toys. But for some reason, those things, I can say the reason probably that those things don't sell as well on TikTok is because people can't taste, touch, smell, feel. Right. But you're showing a toy and you're talking about what it does and all this stuff. These women, they're blowing up on TikTok. You hear me? I'm looking to blow up next on TikTok, y'all. I need y'all to follow me. It's Energizer Beauty. And I also have a second page now, Energizer Beauty, the number 2. But one of my girls is going to clear $1 million on TikTok this year.
That's amazing.
Yep. And it's door swings, toys, and great head oral gel. Yep. Those have been the top sellers. Yep. Yeah, they're making it's changed women's lives literally. So yeah, you never know. We're going to branch off into some more things now that we're doing more things that are considered risque. We have a whole new impact play line right now. So we have a spreader bar. So you think about 50 Shades of Grey, and you know how he had that. You don't want to know what a spreader bar is. So imagine this, Sean. So check it out. You might look. I'm about to hook you up. Check it out. So it is spreader bar, right? Imagine. LQ might try to get away from you sometime. You know what I'm saying? You know, she might try to lock it up on you sometime. Spreader bar.
This sounds
because Diddy's was non-consensual. Really, okay?
It's a consensual spreader bar.
If LQ consents, okay? So it's a bar where you actually have her locked in place with her legs wide open, okay? And then her hands are also cuffed down to the bar. So you are in control. So if she's bent over, she can't run from you. If she's laid back, she can't run from you. And you can flip her over. I'm going to have to show you a video. It's fun.
Yeah,
Okay. Now we know.
Well, you know, Angel's recovering from his triple bypass surgery, so we haven't had a chance to practice with the, you know, I got to keep him alive for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
He's spreader ball approved just right now. He gotta wait.
Yes. And then we
gang.
And then we have like come from behind, which is like a little apparatus to where, you know, you can grab your woman from around her waist and pull her towards you. It's making your job easier.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we've always had the door swing, which I call the grown-up pack and play. That right there is lots of fun. And, yeah, we got some new stuff out there. So check it out. I think LQ shopping today, Sean. We'll make sure you get hooked up.
Look, I'm going to send you the book.
Spreader.
And if the spreader bar is too much for you, we do have the sexy spreader, which isn't a bar, but it's still like a little apparatus.
So y'all got training wheel spreader? If you ain't ready for the big spread, they gonna
work you up.
Yeah, we're gonna work you up to the big spread.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Because listen, sometimes you think about, like, you know, we get older, everything doesn't move and stretch the way that it used to, right? So you need a little bit of aid and assist.
Yeah.
So it's a senior citizen one now.
No.
Okay.
You just think about, like, sometimes, you know, you got your girl legs up in the air, and sometimes, you know, it's a little work and the legs get to shaking. But you get a Charlie horse, you don't really want to move your leg, right? Because the position is real good. You're like, no, wait, right? But the sexy spreader will hold her legs up in position for her, right? And you can also use it and grab it. Like, I'm gonna have to send y'all some demo videos trying to take.
But that Charlie horse sound like it was gonna be horrible. You stuck in something and you got a Charlie horse?
No, you won't get one when you're using this. Yeah, that's my whole point.
Oh yeah,
because you're not holding yourself up. It's actually holding your legs in position. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wow.
It's a spreader for everybody out there.
Do you have a link for them to be able to shop?
Yeah, where can they shop?
Absolutely, yes. So you should go to angeliaspureromance.com. So that's ANGELIAS pure, PURE, for those who are a little spelling challenged, romance, ROMANCE.com.
Cool.
Awesome. So you guys go shop, go get her book, go get you guys some goodies, go get y'all the spreader.
Yes. And listen, on my website, I accept all forms of payment. So for those that maybe you need to spread your payments out, I do Afterpay, Sezzle, Shop Pay, Shopify installments. So I got you, Klarna. Yes. Okay. There you go. All of that. Yes,
you
indeed.
Spread your
Spreading the love.
Spread your
love.
Spread
your payments. Yes. Yep. So shop away for the holidays. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself is my motto. Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. This is the group chat.
Woo, we did it.
Woohoo.
This was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.